a tenant in the building. Are you?
We're all tenants in this building.
We see what we see now. It doesn't get as filtered as it used to before. You only see it on TV, you only see it on the newspaper.
Please don't come close to me.
Taking pictures, going to class. I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
I think this has become another lit match and a powder keg of people just wanting to take a stand.
You trapped in his breathing right there.
Let me see a pulse.
It wasn't just George Floyd. There were so many situations within the past month, within the past 6 months, where I've been seeing these things.
I caught it, Mo. It's okay. I seen it twice.
You guys see this?
I do. I sure do see it.
More and more people in the United States and around the world are finally waking up to the fact that this has been the status quo in our communities, and we need to stop it.
There's an African-American man.
I see this racism here.
I got this all on camera. Watch out.
It went viral.
I don't really even want to show you, but we have to show you a few minutes of this 10-minute video.
Mr. Floyd should have not died. He should still be alive today.
I'm a tenant in the building. Are you?
It was a day after the whole incident happened with George Floyd in the same city.
It actually happened literally like 5 minutes away from where we were at.
Away. He was the first person who whipped out his phone and started taking pictures of us. So we thought, to protect ourselves, we should record and document this as well.
What office?
So we have an office here, and this guy came accusing us we can't be here.
What office are you in?
Don't worry about that. We don't have to tell you.
I'm calling 911 now.
Calling 911 for non-emergency reasons or threatening for non-emergency reasons should have some sort of consequence behind it. It's not a hotline that you just call for anything.
With a climate like this, if the cops showing up, guns blazing, it could have gone a whole different way. People were sharing, they were doing so much research.
Yeah. The thing is, there's so much of this that happens every day that goes unseen, that doesn't get documented.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Elmi, co-founder of Top Figure and Tavolo.
My name is Abdi Hassan, also co-founder of Top Figure and Tavolo.
And we are owners of a local startup here in Minnesota, and we've been working on a mobile app that allows you to dine out and pick up the tab right from the convenience of your mobile phone. So excited about really just talking to you guys this.
Yeah. And what's Top Figure?
Yeah, so Top Figure is our educational platform, which allows we also do e-commerce, and that is our business, and we coach and mentor students to also do that.
Yeah, so it's an e-commerce branding agency. We have two divisions. One of the divisions is helping people get started with online, and then our other division is our team comes in and we actually scale the online side of your business, but pretty much online and e-commerce.
Yeah, we do a lot of different things. So just one thing you'd call us serial entrepreneurs. Yeah. So the atmosphere has been pretty cool here in Minnesota. We used to attend a lot of networking events in Minnesota prior to COVID happening, and it's just been we've always attended multiple different types of events throughout the city. We've always kind of been like the youngest and at the events, and kind of just got more comfortable attending them. And yeah, overall we've seen a good side of Minneapolis and a negative side, but it's been overall a great experience.
Cool. How have you felt supported by the community?
There's been a lot of support in the community, especially now with everything that's been going on. We're thinking about Minnesota, it's a smaller community, so everybody kind of knows what everybody's doing, and there's a lot of collaborations that's been happening, a lot of cool partnerships that's been coming together. So I think it's a pretty good community to be a part of.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's any strengths or opportunities that this region has that's different from other regions that you have noticed?
What's different about Minnesota, mainly like for example, like New York, LA, those everybody's more so like, this is just for me, I don't want to let you know about this. I don't want to let you know what's going on here. And it's been pretty dope because with Minnesota, nice type of thing. Everybody just talks about what's going on and everyone kind of knows what's going on. So I would say that's pretty much like the main factor. But another good thing that's happening now is these bigger companies are finally reaching out to smaller businesses that wasn't happening before. And now, especially being like Black owned, this is a really great opportunity to just speak your voice and, you know, see what happens from there. But it's a pretty good time right now.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge you've overcome as entrepreneurs here in MSP?
Yeah, so a lot of times, like I said before, we faced a lot of like, I guess like from our age, you know, when we attend a lot of the networking events, we'd kind of be, you know, not taking us seriously, especially early off in our businesses. And that was one of the things that we had to face a lot. And, you know, I guess kind of as we kept on attending a lot more and, you know, kind of got more familiar with the Minnesota atmosphere for startups here, it kind of was more helpful as we saw more mentors and, you know, we connected with more people from the community, you know, and that credibility started to really just, you know, increase from there. So I guess in the beginning with that being young was a disadvantage, and, you know, we kind of played that to our advantage as we started to really just showcase our skill set and help a lot of businesses here in the Twin Cities. And yeah.
What about the region, like in the current moment, like what has you most hopeful for the future of this region in specific, but also like kind of what you guys are working on within the region?
Yeah. What has most hopeful, I think, is change is starting to like happen now, you know, especially with like, as I mentioned earlier, these bigger companies are finally starting to collaborate with smaller Black-owned businesses. A lot of Black-owned businesses didn't even really have that many opportunities before, like they wouldn't even reach out to them. But now they're starting to, you know, I hope they're doing it for the right reason, but now you're starting to see more of those happening.
Especially with like, we recently had a segment with WCCO, and like they were able to give us a voice to be able to share our business and share our experience and what we go through. And that's a refreshing feeling to kind of see not only just businesses, but also, you know, news agencies start to really help us spread the impact a lot more. So.
Yeah, talk a little bit about Minneapolis in the wake of George Floyd, which is something obviously, you know, anyone around the country is aware of now. Minneapolis is, for good and for bad, known for right now. What have you seen in the community? What positive things have you seen in the community coming out of that? And what have you seen that's shown, you know, some of the resiliency of Minneapolis and the people here?
Yeah, no, that's a great. So I've seen ever since, you know, the whole George Floyd, which was a tragic incident that happened in our hometown, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We never really expected it to happen here, especially with how great of a community we see Minneapolis as. And I think the things that we're starting to see now are more, you know, just acknowledgement, you know, more, I guess, like, you know, your voice being heard, you know, and also just shedding light to the communities, the minority communities that are most affected by, you know, these, you know, racial tragedies. And it's just refreshing to see Minnesota at least take a step forward in the right direction. So
what would you, like, what's that step forward looking like? And what do you think the next couple steps need to be?
Yeah, I guess like Abdi was saying, like really just more so, really just, especially within our police force, is one thing that has to be, you know, completely reformed. You know, that's number one. That's step one. Starting to see really just more of a response towards, you know, also not only from the police side, but also from the business aspect, like we're into as well. It's just like starting to see more, you know, acknowledgement of minority-owned businesses and more opportunities, being presented to them. And really just, we have the largest, disadvantage as far as like Black workforce here. Like, it's one of the worst places for Black people to be in Minnesota, especially in the tech atmosphere. We have and it's just more companies starting to acknowledge this and just start to see, okay, hey, we need to do something about this. Let's, hire more Black people and hire more Black-owned businesses and contractors too as well. So that'll at least bridge the gap, and that's what I see the right step forward. So.
Tell us a little bit about what happened to you guys at the beginning of the summer, and tell that story a little bit, and what's come out of that.
Yeah, it was a sad incident that happened to us at our office gym. We were working out, and then an individual approached us and threatened to call the cops on us, and we just posted that video on social media, and it just blew up and went everywhere, and it was we didn't expect it to really just go that insane, but it was good to really shed light on the situations that happen, especially in the business industry,
being
so
Black,
much. Yeah, it happens so much, and that's something no one would just think about. You don't just those type of situations don't get brought to light. So it was good we shed light on it, but a lot has came from it since. We just recently had a documentary out with Time Magazine and a lot of other news publications. So it was pretty good exposure for our company and our business. But our main thing was to really wanted to shed light on these type of situations that happen every day that people don't see.
Because it's frustrating. It's not really just our reasoning, to record and document this wasn't to really just. Our intention wasn't to go viral. It was just kind of just a built-in frustration of just events that kept on happening. And it's just, this is not just one of the incidents that has happened to us. It's countless incidents that we've seen in business where it's that direct or indirect form of racism that we see throughout our business. And it's just that this was just a moment where we were just kind of fed up. We were just hey, let's just document this, and just for our own protection too, because we didn't know what was going to happen. It was the day after the whole the tragic incident with George Floyd, and we were hey, for our safety, let's just document this. Just we don't know what's gonna happen, So it's at the end of the day, that's why we felt like we were just documenting.
Have you felt supported by the startup community and the business community here in MSP since that incident?
It was great seeing companies we were also part of a incubator beta, and they did a great job of stepping forward and saying, hey, this is, what are ways we can help? And, they've been helping our business with, really just, the side of just connections and resources here in the Twin Cities. And, it's great being a part of that community. And they stepped forward and said, hey, is there anything we can make you guys feel more welcome within the community? And that was a great thing. And, overall from the startup community, we've seen a lot of people just, step forward and say, hey, he's not part of this gentleman is not a part of our community, and that was refreshing to see that and say, hey, this is not a representation of Minnesota. So, and that was also another refreshing thing to see. So,
did you guys grow up in Minnesota?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah. What was?
Oh, I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines. What was your experience growing up here? And I'm not sure when you moved here, but what was your experience moving here? Was there a lot of difference from Des Moines?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Minneapolis is much more diverse out here. I came here freshman year of high school, but yeah, it was more diverse. There's a lot of diversity here, and it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially from we come from a minority community that's a large community here, Somali population here in Minnesota, and that was one of the things that gravitated us towards my parents even coming here. And overall, it's been we've definitely had our fair share of negative incidents here in Minnesota, but we've also had our large share of positive interactions with a lot of people here in Minnesota that stepped up and acknowledged our presence and said, hey, you guys are a part of our community. We enjoy it. We love to see this diversity. And so that was, growing up, some of the things that I faced.
Tell us a little bit about your businesses and what you guys do as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So our e-commerce sector is what we're doing right now is helping a lot of companies get their infrastructure for e-commerce, right? Just because we're about to have the biggest, one of the largest quarter fours to ever happen with e-commerce, because retailers like Walmart, Target, that everyone goes for Black Friday just announced they're going to be shut down for Black Friday. So everything's going to be online. And we've been preaching this for the last 3 years, how everything's going to go online. And we've been speaking about it, and it's happening much faster than we expected. But our company is really focused on helping people scale online and put the right infrastructure and systems and process in place so they're ready for the large sum of customers that come to their website. And it's actually surprising. A lot of businesses don't do e-commerce; they just do the retailers. And as to COVID, it showed them how important it is to have an online presence. If anything, our business is actually boosted during COVID, not took a hit. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your tech app.
I was just gonna say, yeah. So, and not only that, with our e-commerce, that allows us to really just pursue our passions and really just build things that we foresee that the future of dining is going. And we like to eat out a lot, and we invented and developed an application that makes it very easy for customers to just dine out and at their favorite restaurants. And with COVID happening, like the menu, you can just simply go on your mobile app, browse the menu, pick what you want to eat, whatever restaurant you want to go to, pay right through the mobile convenience of your phone. So, and that has been really just a passion of ours to really develop that, because we never have seen something in the market like that. And we developed this a year and a half ago. And it's been an amazing ride, because at the end of the day, we saw that it was so inconvenient, the dining experience of how you had to sit down and there's so much contact points and so much room for innovation there. We were like, why hasn't nobody done this? And that's what prompted us to really just say, hey, let us, take our skill set of what we've done of building things online and really just take that towards building a mobile app. So it's just been a really fun journey, and just, of course, filled with ups and downs. And going into our first tech startup, it's, hey, you don't know what can happen, but it's been ultimately fun, and just to be able to just build it, and it's been great so far.
Something that I've noticed on your guys' social media, and it's been something that I really admire about what you guys are doing, is that it seems like the more success that the two of you have, the more you're pulling up people around you. And that's really apparent with the e-commerce stuff and how many people you are helping to get to where you've been. And it seems like that's a very diverse crowd in and of itself. And supporting the people that you've kind of helped hire into Tavolo. Can you talk about that? Just supporting the ecosystem.
As one thing we've always been very passionate about is having the people around us really not. I don't want someone around us that doesn't see the same vision of us, but also didn't get the same opportunities. Because what happens a lot is this person has so much potential, so much everything, but the odds are against them and they're never going to get that opportunity. So that's one thing we always look past once we're working with people, or once we're helping someone, or once we're hiring someone, is there the potential there that they can actually be that person? Like, we see it in them, and we've seen it in a lot of people. And it's been dope, having people around you that you knew from before, either with friends or you met them through the process. But we don't look at degrees, that stuff doesn't really matter to us. It's just about having that ecosystem environment of hustlers, just people who are, because at the end of the day, if you're hungry, you're gonna find a way. That's one thing. If you're hungry, you're 100% gonna find a way. And that's something we've always preached, we've always practiced. And even when we were first starting about 3 years ago, I remember we were so hungry, going to 5 networking events a week just looking for answers, and we couldn't find those answers anywhere, but we didn't look at that time as wasted. We were just, it's a part of the process.
Yeah, so we feel for a lot of the people, and like we just also provide, we're a big, yeah, just like value. Like you're not gonna lose by giving value to somebody, or we always are, like whatever we figure comes to our mind, and if we can find a way to help you, we're gonna do it. We're not gonna charge you. We're not gonna at the end of the day, we understand that value comes back tenfold. Karma, putting out good energy and good faith, and it's gonna come back to you tenfold. So at the end of the day, there's nothing you can lose by giving value to somebody. So we preach that constantly. So.
This is going to be my first time being an entrepreneur, and by doing this boot camp, it was everything plus more than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, the amount of value that these guys bring, I've watched them grow from having a couple products to now where they've got multiple brands that they're doing. I mean, the energy's there, the success is there, and they're going to give you as many tips as they can because they want you to succeed.